Hi everyone, welcome to MSUNN Yoga and Wellness. I'm Dr. Melissa and I'm super excited that you're here today because I have an awesome class lined up for you all about getting rid of any low back pain or tightness that you're having, as well as getting rid of some pesky knee pain so that you can get back to all of the activities that you love doing. So go grab your mats and I'll meet you right back here so we can do this. Okay, so before we get started, you might want to grab, if you have, a lacrosse ball, tennis size ball, a yoga block, and if you've got a ball about this size. It's going to be a little squishy. No worries if you don't have any of this. I'll show you what you can do without if you have a yoga mat or a towel. So we're going to get started, and we're start on our side. You can kind of just put your props off to the side, and let's start on our left side. So you're going to come down onto your left side. Bring your knees up towards you. Let your head get nice and relaxed. The goal here is going to be pushing the knees down in towards the ground and make sure that your hips are rolled forward. If you want, you can take that yoga block or anything that you got and kind of put it in between your knees so that you're keeping those in line. That head's nice and relaxed. And we're just gonna start with a gentle chest opener. So on your inhale, you're gonna slowly peel yourself open and reach that arm behind you. See how my hips started to roll this way? You wanna make sure those hips are rolled forward and you're pinching them down. That's gonna make you feel more of a stretch in that mid back and in the chest. And then slowly bring that arm back. Maybe you reach forward a little bit more. Inhale, peel that right arm on top. Stretch, reach behind you. Make sure those hips stay rolled forward. And then inhale, scoot forward. Reach up and back behind you. Now your gaze can stay up at the ceiling, at your left hand, or maybe over towards that right hand. And then bring it back. We're going to do one more on this side. And just checking in to see where you feel this stretch. Middle of your back, maybe your pec. Trying to stay with your breath, opening it up here just for a couple. Trying to get that shoulder down on the ground while you're still pinching that block together. Good, and then bring that top hand back. We're gonna get rid of that block. Now we're gonna work on strengthening those hips. So your head gets nice and heavy. Kind of cradle with your left. And you wanna make sure the hips stay rolled forward. You're gonna extend that right leg back. Ankle, hip, shoulder all in a line and really roll those hips forward. And you're just gonna slowly start to lift and lower, maybe about an inch or two. Keep pressing through the heel. And maybe playing with the foot a little bit to make sure this is that area you want to be firing up. Maybe that belly button pulls up and in, and you're lengthening through that leg. Maybe you turn the toes down a little, turn them up, just to see where you feel that activating the most. And you're lengthening through that heel, coming from the hip, firing it up. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Hold at the very top. Tiny little pulses at that end range. Keep pulling that belly button up and in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower all the way back down. Great. Now I'm going to have you roll onto your backs, and we're just going to flip over to the right hand side. So coming down onto the right side, bring that yoga block with you so that you can stick it right in between those knees. Head gets nice and heavy. Pinching the knees together, hips stay rolled forward. That arm comes straight out in front. And then slowly peel that left arm along the right, reaching up and back behind. Use the breath. Exhale, hands come back together. Maybe you reach a little bit more. And then inhale, lift, reach up and back behind you. So you should be feeling this maybe in your pec in the front of your chest, maybe right in between the shoulder blades in that mid back, getting to open up a little more. Use the breath. And notice how far you go on this side compared to your other side. It's all about creating that balance. One more time, we're gonna open up. We're gonna hold here. Remember, your gaze can be right hand at the ceiling or over at that left hand. On the inhale, you're thinking of lengthening out. Exhale, see if you can just sink into it a little bit more. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, sink it down a little bit. Good. Left hand comes back to meet the right. Let's get rid of that block. And then we're gonna make sure those hips stay stacked. Kind of cradle your head. Take the left leg, extend out through that left heel. You're creating that length through your hip because you want to fire up that outside of your glutes. You're going to lift that leg up and bring it back down. Small little pulses. That core stays in, and the neck and shoulders are just nice and relaxed. This muscle is really important to help us stabilize our pelvis and take some pressure off of our low backs. So keep lengthening out through that leg. Playing around, turning the toes down a little bit more, maybe up towards the ceiling, just where you feel it most on the outside here. Sometimes we tend to kick that leg forward, and we use these muscles in the front of the hip, so make sure that leg stays back, and you're just firing up through that heel. And one side might be a little bit harder than the other one to fire up. That side that's a little bit more difficult or challenging, you want to spend a little extra love on that side. So just do a couple more. If you need to pause the video at any point and you want to do a couple more exercises, that's awesome. Go for it. Keep reaching through that heel. We're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Now pulse it at the top. Small, tiny little pulses. Keep lengthening out from that hip. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now come all the way back down. Now I'm going to have you come onto your backs. And we're going to work on our core. So working on that transverse abdominis, that deepest core muscle that wraps around here. So you're taking your belly button and pulling your belly button down towards the ground and up towards your head. And you want to make sure you don't do this kind of tuck your pelvis underneath. It's all coming from those muscles. So if you imagine the two bones on the front of your pelvis and you're hugging those two bones together. The other thing you want to watch out for with this muscle is making sure that you're not feeling your stomach pushing out. You want to make sure you keep pulling it up and in because then you're compensating using other muscles. So that core pulls in nice and tight. We're going to take our arms, reach our arms up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to tap right hand, left knee, and then extend, switch, reach to the other side, and then lower down and tap. Good. That core is staying nice and tight. Just gently tapping from side to side. Keep pulling that core in nice and tight. The neck and shoulders stay relaxed. And if you feel like that stomach starts to push out or you start to feel any pulling in the low back, just put everything back down, reset, and get back at it. Good. Keep pulling that core in nice and tight. Soften through the neck and shoulders. Good. And we're going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Come all the way back down. Core pulls in nice and tight again. We're going to go back and work on that same muscle group and also getting a little bit of our obliques in. So you're going to take your left knee in towards your chest. Take your right hand. Press your right hand into the thigh and that thigh into your hand, and you'll feel that cross-body connection kicking on. Make sure your neck and shoulders stay nice and relaxed. We're just going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch to the other side. Left hand into that right thigh. Thigh into your hand. Kick that core on, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Keep pressing into the hand. So maybe this is feeling really good and you want to start to lift up onto the toes on that right hand side so you don't have as much weight pressing down. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. And if this is still feeling really good, maybe you have both legs up in the air. Keep pulling that core nice and tight for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Keep pulling that core in nice and tight. So any of those variations, you can slowly start to work your way up to this one. And if at any point you feel that core pulling on the back, just tap the foot back down again. Good, and we'll switch. Got a couple more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. One more each side. Here we go. Any variation that you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Here you go. Feel that core firing up. You've got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place those feet back down on the ground. Take a nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. I just want you to come up into a bridge. So you're going to soften your toes, and I want you to focus on the front of your hips as we come up. Just going to press into those hips, gentle lift up. Observe what you're feeling in this position. Keep lengthening through the thighs, soften those toes, and then slowly come all the way back down. And now we're gonna go and work on loosening up the outside, the front part of those hips. So you're gonna wanna grab that squishy ball that we had. If you don't have a squishy ball, it's okay. Take a towel roll and roll it up, or roll up part of your yoga mat. And we're gonna take this ball. You're gonna find that bone in the front part of your pelvis, and just place that ball right to the inside of that. And then we're gonna come down onto our stomachs. You're gonna lay on your stomach on that ball. Let your head rest down, let the hips get nice and heavy. You might have to like move up a little, down a little, side to side until you find one of those spots that's like, whew, I can feel some little tight spots there. And we're gonna take a nice breath in and push your stomach into that ball. And then on the exhale, you're gonna let that ball go into your stomach. Inhale, push the stomach into the ball. Exhale, let that ball go into your stomach. Just kind of moving around up and down, or if you found that right spot. We're gonna take a couple more deep breaths. So this is a type of myofascial release, trying to create some hydration to those tissues to make them a little bit more mobile. If this is really sharp shooting, you definitely do not want to do this. And you don't want to overdo these ones. So only about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute each position. Good, one more nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. Good. And then we're gonna take that ball and we're just gonna switch the ball over to the other side. So again, that front part of your hip, ball goes to that inside right there. And then we're gonna lay down on our stomachs again. And I want you to pay attention to the difference from your left side to your right side. Maybe moving up, down a little bit, looking for that spot. And you might notice that one side, you don't notice anything at all. So go back to the side that was a little bit tighter, that you notice some spots in, and spend a little extra love on that side. So again, nice big breath in, push your stomach into the ball. Exhale, let that ball sink into your stomach. Inhale, push the stomach into the ball. Exhale, relax down into it. Inhale, push that stomach into the ball. Exhale, let it go. And just take a couple more breaths, observing how your body's feeling, comparing it to that other side, because we want to create that balance. Good, we're gonna take one more breath here. Good, exhale, letting it all go. And then taking that ball out, we're gonna come back onto our backs. Put that ball or yoga mat off to the side. And then we're gonna go right back to that bridge that we just did. And I want you to compare it to the first time that you did it. So walk those heels back to your sit bones, soften your toes, gentle lift of that belly button and spine, and you really wanna press into your heels so you fire up those glutes. Lengthen it up, lengthen out through the front of your thighs. And then maybe you just need to take your hands and place your hands on your glutes to make sure you feel those muscles firing up. Equal weight in both feet. Nice soft toes. Neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed. And carefully you don't feel any pulling in your low back. If you do, just lower your hips down a little bit, hug the core and squeeze those glutes. Keep lengthening out through those thighs. And maybe you notice that it's more open in the front of your hips than the first time that we did it. Maybe those glutes are firing up a little bit more. So now that we're up, you can hold it right here, coming out at any point that you need. And now we're gonna just slowly tap the hips halfway and then press lift up. Halfway down and lift. Making sure you keep equal weight in both the feet. Neck and shoulders, relax. They like to help out. So keep reminding yourself to relax. Keep those toes nice and soft, and this is where you wanna be feeling it. If you start to feel it somewhere else, lower all the way back down, reset, and get back at it. Keep pressing those hips up. Good. We're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna hold at the top of this last one, holding it here. Now I want you to just do small little pulses at the top of that range. Keep lengthening through your thighs. Great job, you guys. We're almost there. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come all the way back down. Just kind of lengthen out through those legs. Take a nice breath in, stretch through your fingertips. Just check and see how your body's feeling from when we first started to now. Bring those hands back down by your side. And now you're gonna wanna grab your yoga block again, and then that tennis ball or your lacrosse ball. So we're gonna work on loosening up the inner thigh muscle along here. We're gonna be looking for some of those tender sore spots. So I want you on your right side first. And we're gonna take the yoga block and you're gonna line that block up with your inner thigh. Then you're gonna take the ball and just place the ball on that yoga block. And you can kind of play with it at first. Maybe you're rolling in and out. Once you find that spot that's like, whew, I got it, you can slowly straighten that front leg and then bend it. So if you didn't have a yoga block or a ball, you can maybe use a book, and a ball. If you have a foam roller, you could line that foam roller up and do that same exact thing with that. Good. Just a couple bend and straightens on this spot. And then we'll look for another one. So maybe you go further up the thigh, looking for another tender area. And this is that myofascial release that we're doing. So we only want to spend about 30 or 60 seconds at each spot. Sometimes we think more is going to be better, but it can actually aggravate some of the tissues and make it a little bit tighter. So we don't want to overdo it. Good. And then let's just look for one more, maybe a little closer up to that inner thigh. And that same thing. You find that spot and you just bend and straighten. Maybe make some faces. Maybe make some noises. It could be a little uncomfortable. That hurt but feels good. I promise you'll feel better afterwards. Good. One more. Good. And then we're going to take that ball out. Move the block off to the side, and we're going to do another muscle. Since we're on our right side, we'll stay here. You're going to want to take that ball. You find that bone in the front of your hip again, and you're going to move about an inch or two behind it, placing that ball right at the top of the hips. So this is your TFL muscle. It attaches that to the top of your IT band. So for any pain that you've got going on in your knees, this muscle can be really important. So you're gonna slowly lay down onto that side. And again, you might have to Move yourself up a little or down a little just to find that right spot. And then once you do, just breathe into it. You can keep yourself propped up. If you want to come down, it's just trying to relax into that position. Trying not to clench and hold, just ease into that ball. If this is feeling pretty good and you want to add on a little bit, you can always lift that bottom leg up and then back down. Or just holding might be enough. I'm just going to hang out and hold here. This is pretty tight. 30, 60 seconds in this spot. Using that breath. And I want you to remember how this side felt, because we're going to compare it when we head over to that other side. Good. One more breath here. And then we're going to head over towards our left side. So come on up, and let's switch it over. So you want to find that spot again, and do that TFL again. So the front of the hip, move a couple inches behind, and then take that ball, place it right on that hip, and you're going to lay down on that spot. Might have to roll forward or backwards a little bit. And breathe into it. And remember, is this side a little tighter, a little more painful? That hurt but feels good. And just relaxing over that spot. Easing into it. If you had one side that is a little bit tighter than the other, maybe just spending a little extra time on that side. We want to create balance in our body. Good. We're going to take one more deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then we're going to go back to the adductors. So grab that block, grab your foam roller. On our left side, we're going to take the block, line it up with our inner thigh. And then you're going to take the ball and place that ball looking for that spot. Kind of rolling along, and then once you find that spot, straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. "30 or 60 seconds in each spot. So I kind of like to do 4 or 5 bends. And then I'm going to roll up. Let's see if I can find any tender spots. Maybe moving it forward or backwards a little bit, all along those inner thigh muscles. Keep trying to relax into it. Good. And let's look for one more spot. Maybe you go up a little higher on the inner thigh. Maybe you just hold it in that spot. You don't want to move it. It's good. That's good enough. You can build up to bending and straightening that leg. Nice breath in. Sink in over that ball. Good. Let's take one more breath here. And slowly coming off that ball. We can put our props off to the side because we're not going to need them anymore. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees, coming into tabletop position. So those hands come directly below your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. I want you to press into your palms, gentle tuck of that chin in towards your throat. Belly button to your spine, and we're going to extend our right leg. So take that right leg back, toes stay on the ground, and you're pressing through that heel. As you press through the heel, you're going to feel that glute fire up. Core pulls in nice and tight. Press into those arms, and our left arm is going to float up towards the ceiling. So we rotate, twist that chest open. Exhale, left hand comes back down. And then again, keep pressing into your right arm. Inhale, lift up, press through that left heel. Exhale, bring it back down. Belly button to spine one more time. Inhale, press, twist open. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Right knee comes down, and then we're gonna switch. Left leg goes back. You press through your heel, press into the palms. Squeeze the left glute, and the right arm now is gonna float up towards the ceiling. Spin your chest open. And notice how far you go from side to side. Press into the left, spin your chest open. Bring it back down. One more time, keep pressing into that left arm, spin your chest open, keep pressing through your left heel, bring it back down. And come back down onto those knees. So we've got one more to go. I'm gonna have you come up to a standing position, and we're gonna work on our balance and firing up those muscles in our feet. So first what I want you to do is just press into the feet. So we're nice and soft with the toes, and you're pressing through the mound of that big toe. So separate the toes, press through the mound. You'll feel the feet, feel that arch. Notice the difference from side to side. Now press into the feet. Take your right foot, put your right foot in front. Press into those feet. Hands come together. You're gonna bring both arms straight out in front. So make sure your feet aren't gripping the ground, curling the toes. Nice and soft with the toes. Pull the core in nice and tight. And we're just gonna do a gentle twist to the left. Twist it over towards the left. Come back towards center, and then head over towards the right. Keep your gaze over those hands. Bring it back to center. Twist to the left. Soft with the toes. Pull that core in nice and tight. One more time to the right. Bring it back towards center. Okay, now we're gonna switch and do the other side. So those hands come back down. And just take the left foot in front, right foot comes behind. Keep pressing into your feet. Take those arms, stretch them out. Soften through the shoulders, soften those toes. Gently twist to the left. Come back to center. And if this feels like it's a little too challenging, what you can also do is take those feet and just have a little staggered stance like this and work your way up to heel toe. We're going to the right. Come back to center. Go to the left. Center. One more time over towards that right and center. Hands come back down. We're gonna go through that one more time, and I'm gonna have two options for you. So you can do the heel toe again, or maybe you wanna have a toe tap and you just practice balancing on one foot. So those are your two options, heel toe or the toe tap, working on balancing on one foot. Hands come straight out in front again. Soften the shoulders, and we're gonna twist to the right, center, left, center, right. Relax those toes. Make sure you're not having a death grip. You can always tap the other foot down if you need. Good, and right. Now we're gonna switch, other side. So either heel toe or the toe tap. Press into the toe, soften them. Bring those arms straight out in front. Twist to the left. Keep pulling the core in. Keep pressing into the feet. Feel the glutes kicking on. Notice how the balance feels from one side to the next. Right, center, last side, left, center. Okay. Place both feet back down on the ground. We're gonna take a nice big deep breath in, reach those hands, come all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down towards heart center. So now that you've learned some new techniques to help get rid of any low back pain or some pesky knee pain, keep at it. Keep trying to balance out your body. Keep working on that movement. It's gonna help you get back to all those activities that you love doing without pain. So I'll catch you next time. Namaste.